Okay, all right, so traveling 3, automobile liability insurance. Okay, we're gonna make this big. Okay, so what you've got to do is you've got to figure out what is the most that the insurance will pay out for each person and total, because there's like how much they're going to give at max to each person, less how much they're going to give total, because they're not going to pay, you know, everything. All right, so we'll read the example. Jared had $100,000/$150,000 liability coverage. He injured 3 people in an accident. One had $30,000 in injury fees, another $50,000, and a third $110,000. So we need to figure out how much insurance is going to pay. All right, so his coverage says $100,000/$150,000. That means each person, the most that they will get is $100,000. But the total that the insurance will pay out is $150,000. Okay, so what we do is we take each person's amount and we add it together, except if it goes over $100,000. So if it goes over the $100,000, we only add in $100,000. Okay, the first person was $30,000, so we'll put in the $30,000. The second person was $50,000, so we can add in the $50,000. And then the third person said $110,000, but we are only going to add in $100,000. And then we add those all up. 30 plus 50 is 80. 80 plus 100 is 180. So the total amount was 180, but the max that the insurance will pay is 150,000. So we have to subtract 150,000 from the 180 to see what is left over, what the driver is liable for. So we've got that 10,000 left over from the person who had $110 in injury fees. And then we've got the $30,000 left over. So we add those two together. So the driver will have to pay 10 plus 30, which is $40,000 for injury fees.
So the only payment I can do is the whole.
Yeah, so this will be how much they're covering, this will be the leftover. So here they're saying they're gonna cover per person 50,000.
Okay.
So out of this guys, is there anyone that has a limit? Yeah. So you can pay all of them except for that 60,000, that person can only get covered for 50.
Okay,
Okay, so this first one, $50,000 and 150,000 max. So $50,000 per person, $150,000 max. We look at each of these people, each of the victims, and this is what it says. $20,000 for one victim, 12,000 for another, 12,000 for a third, and then 60,000 for a fourth. So the $60,000 person, they are only going to get $50,000. Okay, we need to add all of those up. Where did my calculator go? There it is. Okay. Slide this guy over. Oh, it doesn't want to move out of my way. Wants to stay on this screen. So we're just going to, oh, he moved. Oh my word. Okay, there we go. Fun times. Okay, so. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to take each of those amounts, 20,000, 1, 2, 3, plus 12,500, plus 12,500, plus it says 60,000, but it will only cover up to 50,000 per person. So plus 50, 1, 2, 3. And that equals $95,000. So that's the total amount that the insurance will pay, $95,000. And then we have to put how much the driver has to pay. So the driver has to pay that $10,000 that is left over. Oops, wrong little part. The $10,000 that is left over from the 60,000. Okay. All right, let's do the next one.
No, you're right. That's the
So we've got $100,000 is how much the most that they will pay for each person. And then the most they'll pay total is 150,000. So let's look at each of the amounts the victims will get. There's 110,000, 60,000, and 103,000. Okay, so we're gonna go 100, oops, 100,000 plus plus 50,000. So they're gonna pay out the whole 150,000. 150, 123. Now we have to figure out how much is going to be left over. Okay, we've got $10,000 left over. 10 from the first person. And then we have another 10,000 left over from the 60,000. Then we have the 103,000. So that is the total amount that the driver will pay. This is why it is so important to make sure that your insurance coverage is going to cover everything. Okay, so this next one, it says, all right, there is 75,000 for each person and 125,000 for total. So if we take our two amounts, 79,000 and 52,500, and add them together, 79111 and plus 52,500, and then we subtract 131,500 minus 125,000. That is how much the driver will need to pay. So the driver right here will need to pay $6,500. Okay. The total that they will pay is 125,000. Okay.